Greetings, this is Lauren with LKR Soap and Such and Lauren Cares Naturals. Come join me as I do my very first cold process liquid soap. When you make cold process or hot process hard soaps or bar soaps, you use a sodium hydroxide acid to bring saponification to the oils and cause salt or soap. But when you're doing a liquid soap, you use potassium hydroxide. And so this is my caustic soda in potassium hydroxide form. And it is harmful or even fatal if it's swallowed, and you need to wear gloves and have goggles on at all times when you're using this. And your pets and your children should be somewhere else when you're utilizing this. And you also should have good ventilation when you're doing this. So this is my water. And this is my potassium hydroxide. So we're gonna pour this in here slowly and mix it. And I'm gonna keep at arm's length because there are fumes that arise from this. And I don't want to expose my lungs. To it. All right, this is mixed really well. It's clear already. There's quite a bit of water in here. 16.5 ounces of water. And I had 5.5 ounces of potassium hydroxide in there. Now I want to check the temperature. It's at 138 degrees. So that's kind of hot. And I'm not sure what my oils are because they've been sitting. And they're at 114. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my lye solution into my oils. And we're going to send it down this This is what it looks like. It's beginning to get cloudy as I'm mixing it this way. One of the reasons I wanted this new blender is because I thought if it was a little bit longer, then it would actually fit down into one of these. And when you are working with your soap mixture and you're blending it, you want to make sure that it's not going to splash up on you. All right, now I'm going to use this stick blender for the very first time. I am really excited. I'm going to go ahead and take this spoon and put it over here in this container. And I'm going to use this first speed. That is definitely so much nicer in terms of sound than the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and use the other one here. And then I'm going to let you hear the difference in this one. So we're going to burp it. And then we're going to let it go. See how much louder this is? There's just such a difference in in it. Let's go ahead and do the, and there are a lot of bubbles that occur in it when you're using this one. So let's go ahead and use the second speed on this one. It is more powerful, but it doesn't seem to have the amount of bubbles that the other one does. So I'm going to continue on with this and bring this to a nice trace, which will take a little while. This has 16.5 ounces of sunflower oil in it, which is a liquidy oil, and then it has about 7 ounces of coconut oil. So it's going to take it a while to trace because of the fact that it's more liquid oils than it is solid oils. All right, we're still pretty runny here. And this blender, this stick blender is getting warm. And that's one of the things that happens when you're doing hot process liquid soap. You definitely have to blend it a long time with a stick blender. But I'm just gonna get this to a light trace, hopefully. This is what it looks like now. It's thicker. And I'm gonna go ahead, there's a light trace to it, and I'm going to cover this over with saran wrap and put a lid on it for now, and then come back and check it and to see if it's going to separate. But this is the first stage of this, and I'll bring you back if there's any change in it. This was beginning to separate. The oils were separating in here, so I came in with a stick blender again and worked with the batter and just got it to this place here where it's nice and traced. I just let this sit for a while. I began to think that maybe I didn't have to actually get it to trace because it was taking so long and my stick blender was getting hot. And at this point, it is more like a pudding phase. So it's been probably an hour and a half since I put it to bed. And this is what it looks like now at this point. It's almost between a mashed potato and a pudding type of a consistency. So I'm just letting it sit. I'm not continuing to stick blend it because it was just taking forever as I stick blended it. So we will continue the process. We may just let it sit now and check it in a couple hours and see if it actually needs to be stirred down again. And we are in progress with our cold process liquid soap. We're about another hour into the process, and when I opened this up, there was a layer of liquid on the bottom and this more of an applesauce type consistency here on the top. But it's definitely more translucent than it was, but not completely. And it's more applesauce-y than mashed potato-y. That's what it looks like in an hour's time. And I'm going to let it sit again, cover it up, and check it in a little while again and see. Hi, this is Lauren again, and this is day 3 of the cold process experiment for me for the first time. This is what the soap looks like after it's been sitting. It really isn't super translucent, but I did a zap test on it, and there's no lye remaining in there that I know of. So I'm gonna take some of this paste and put it into this warm water and do a clarity test. Going to move it around in there. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. And I'm not sure if this is indicative of the whole process, but it's definitely cloudy, white. We'll let this sit and melt and see what happens to it. This is some hot process liquid soap paste that I made back in September of 2018. And it's been, of course, sequestering or rotting for a long time now. And this is some of that paste and what it looks like. And of course I know that what I just made is gonna have to sequester. And then this is the liquid that comes from that. It's a golden color. It doesn't have anything but coconut oil and sunflower oil in it. And it's nice and clear. I should probably put some of this paste in some water and let it dissolve, whether it's going to be cloudy or not. So I'm doing 1:1 parts of water. I have distilled water in here, and I'm gonna let this sit, and we will see what happens in terms of it making a liquid soap. This is my liquid soap after it liquefied, and there is a bit of a foam on the top of it, but I wanted to do this in your presence. Just want to show you the consistency. Okay, the foam is going to come out first. And there's that. But this is the consistency of the soap. It's not super thick. It is a 1:1 ratio. And I put no thickener in there at all. I'm just gonna get a bowl here, and then I'm gonna pour this back in carefully. But I want to show you the lather of the coconut and sunflower oil, isn't it? Pour some water in there. And that's what lathers up when you get the water in there. It's so soothing. And this is liquid soap that has no detergents or surfactants or anything in it that cause damage to your skin. So thank you for watching to the end, and you all have a great day. I've got another video coming up soon here. Bye-bye.